right now in your life? Like, what just happened? Why we were trying to get you on the phone. We just got you on. Our engineer, Kenny, just typed to me what you have happening right now. Are you comfortable sharing those details with the audience?
Sure. I'm happy to share what goes on. I mean, to be honest with you, Nick, I'll just be real honest with you. I woke up at 5:30 to a screaming 10-month-old. My wife has probably not slept in like 7 days. So I handled 5:30 till 8:30. I handled those 3 hours. Went on a media appearance at 8:30. Got done with that at 9:05. Got my kid in the car, took him to swim lessons at 9:30. 9:30 to like 10:06. Drove him back with my wife. We got him down for a nap. I hopped in a car at 10:30. I did one of our colleagues, I don't mind naming it, Adam Shine, at 10:30.
Yeah, love Adam. I used to produce for Adam. Adam's my guy. Love that. Love Adam.
Yeah, Adam is the best. An appearance on Sirius with Coach Neuheisel and Chris Childers at 11 o'clock. I have a 12:30 flight, so I got done with that appearance and thought I had enough time just to sneak the luggage through TSA. The luggage took about a minute too long, so I missed your board ops call. And then the great Bill Zinnerman called me and said, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yes." I said, "Luggage took about a minute. We're on a minute-by-minute basis. A minute too long. I'm ready to go. I'm here." So I'm talking to you from Newark Airport, Terminal A, to hop on a 12:30 flight. I'm actually not in person for the national championship game tonight, but I'm thrilled because I'm hopping on a 12:30 flight, and I'm heading to Phoenix for Rockets at Suns with Derek Fisher tomorrow night on NBC.
You got the life, man. And just John Fanta, MVP of You Better You Bet. I'm being serious. Last time you joined us, you were in your car. This needs to be said. I'm not joking. Last time you came on, you were in your car because your son was napping and you didn't want to wake him up. So Dad of the Year also. And now just went through TSA at the airport on you. Such is the dedication to the cause. And I'll tell you, so my daughter is a little older than your son. Those swim lessons were a nightmare. Like, they get onto the water. At least my daughter didn't like that very much. So we'll see how this goes for your son with the swim lessons here. So thank you for joining us. I actually really like Newark Airport. But anyway, national championship game tonight, my friend.
Anytime.
Yeah, you're the best.
Yeah.
Michigan 6.5 against UConn. We had one of your old colleagues, Jeff Goodman, was on the show with us last hour. He thinks Michigan wins by double digits. I think he might be right, but the thought of going against Danny Hurley makes me very, very nervous. What is John Fanta's opinion on tonight's national championship game with Michigan and Connecticut?
It's all about if UConn can get stops against Michigan. To me, we know Michigan's rim protection and how great that is. And UConn is a team that operates very well in the half court and is able to make threes. I think they need to make at least 11 threes to have a chance in this game. But Nick, we both know watching UConn over the years and over Alex Karaban's career, and you could put Ball in there, and now you can definitely put Braylon Mullins in there. I know Braylon Mullins is going to show up. UConn's at their best when they're able to get 2 or 3 stops sequentially, and then they're able to hit those transition threes where they could pitch it out to a wing. It feels like more than 3 when it goes in because they're momentum-based. That's how UConn has a chance. What do I think of the game? I think it's going to be a battle and that UConn is going to hang in because they have the heart of a champion. But Michigan has been the best team in the sport all year. They are the best team in this sport. They showed that on Saturday with what they did to Arizona. The problem in this matchup for UConn is how does Terrace Reed navigate Morez Johnson and Adai Mara? And if Reed gets in any foul trouble, all spacing, all threes, and I'm not to say that might work temporarily. It can't work for a full 40-minute game. I just don't see it. Elliot Cadeau masks what Silas Demery can do on paper. UConn's got to find a way to limit Lendeborg. I mean, I know he's banged up, but he's going to play, and he'll be good enough. If you let Lendeborg get cooking, Trey McKinney now is playing his best. Michigan's deeper. They're better. I think they beat UConn by 8 to 12 points. I think it's 78-70 Michigan tonight. I don't think it's a blowout because I respect UConn too much to say that they're just going to cave. But Michigan's a better team than them, and they should win tonight, and they should snap this Big Ten title drought. There is one element to this, mental. UConn's playing with nothing to lose. They've gained their legacy. They've got all that going for them. Michigan, Like for the Big Ten, if this title drought's going to end, it ends tonight.
If Michigan wins tonight, John, what will you and all of us be saying about the 2025-26 Michigan Wolverines tomorrow?
That they're an all-time team and that Dusty May is now in Tier A of coaches and could be for a long time. And the next job he takes will be for the NBA, but Dusty May could have a run at Michigan like Billy Donovan had at Florida. That's what we're going to be talking about with the Wolverines. And I think that when you're looking at their team, we're also going to say they're gigantic. They're gigantic. Adai Mara, Morez Johnson, their ability to just overwhelm you on the interior. We're going to call them one of the biggest teams of all time, one of the most dominant teams of all time. I laugh when people say, well, at one point they probably got a little bit bored. They're 36-3. How bored could they have gotten? We're going to be talking about Dusty May as one of the elite first 2 years on a job in college basketball history.
Hot take or just right, John? If Connecticut pulls the upset tonight, I think this will be this run that they've been on with Danny Hurley, 3 titles in 4 years in the NIL era and the transfer portal era. I think this will be the greatest achievement, if not in the history of college basketball, certainly in the last 50 years since the John Wooden Maine era at UCLA drew to a close. Hot take or just right?
We are just right. We are aligned. I believe that if UConn wins this game tonight, you're going to come on the air and everybody's going to come on the air tomorrow morning and say, is Dan Hurley the modern-day John Wooden? And you know what? When Dan Hurley won his first title in 2023, I said to him, what's next? And you know what he said back to me, Nick? He said, I have a picture of John Wooden in my office. You're always striving to be at the bar. And look, John Wooden was unbelievable, and he's got more titles than just 3. That being said, if we're going to start talking about legacy and the window's wide open. Dan Hurley is, he's still in his early 50s. He's got an opportunity to go down as that type of great. Like, he wins tonight. It's one of the best coaching jobs I've ever seen. They were dead and buried against Duke. They got smashed by St. John's in the Big East Tournament final. And I mean smashed. They entered the Big East Tournament struggling. They lost to a Marquette team that had one of the worst years in Marquette basketball history. By the way, if you're a college hoops better or whatnot, and you want to look at a team that's going to have a bounce back year next year, I'm telling you right now, if you be smarter with your friends, Marquette will bounce back next year. They'll be in the tournament. That being said, Connecticut, they looked terrible in the last weeks of February. And by terrible, I mean they just weren't functioning. They weren't making shots. They looked worn down. The fact they're still standing in this game alone is an amazing accomplishment. They win tonight, and you go into Dan Hurley. He's on the Mount Rushmore. Could he surpass? Could he be the greatest college basketball coach? Does it sound crazy right now? Maybe. You beat this all-time Michigan team tonight, and it becomes reality. I think it's fair game.
Couple more minutes here with John Fanta of NBC joining us from the airport. John, we'll get you out of here in a second, but would it be shocking if UConn beat Michigan tonight? Not covered the spread. If Connecticut wins, would you be shocked by that result?
No, I wouldn't be shocked because it's Connecticut. And how could you be shocked, Nick, by a program that was down 19 points to Cameron Boozer and Duke and won? That was shocking. Them beating Michigan. Remember, Michigan did get taken to the wire by Penn State in Big Ten play. Michigan was down double digits in the second half to Northwestern. It's basketball. It's a one-game playoff. Would I be shocked by UConn winning a 7-game series over Michigan? Hell, a 5-game series over Michigan? That would shock me, because Michigan's a better team over a 5 or 7 game span. If UConn and Michigan played 10 times, Michigan wins 8 of the 10 times. Could tonight be one of the 2? Of course it could be. Because to have a chance against Michigan, you have to hit threes. And you've got to slow the game down. You can't turn the ball over. And you've got to be physical enough. And UConn plays with enough physicality, and they have good enough shot makers. Here's the thing, though. Alex Caravan and Solo Ball, they can't have a combined 3 for 18 night. They gotta be making shots. They gotta be in rhythm. Jaden Ross, Jalen Stewart, they combined for 3 made threes against Illinois. It changed the game. Those guys got a hoop tonight. But would I be shocked? I'm not shocked by anything Dan Hurley does. He's the Jack Torrance of college basketball from The Shining. He keeps forging on with that axe.
I did not think we were going to get a Stephen King reference on the show, a Jack Nicholson reference. I absolutely love that. John, we'll get you out of here with this. You're a big Cavs guy. I'm a big Knicks guy. I said earlier on the show that I think the Knicks should purposefully lose games down the stretch to get into the 4 seed. Get your Cavs up to the 3 to avoid the Celtics until the conference finals. Your thoughts on that here in 15 seconds to wrap.
Well, look, I would much rather be on the opposite side of the bracket than Boston. So I don't deny your theory. I think you're in the right. But here's my hot take to that about Cleveland. I think Cleveland could be outmatched by the Atlanta Hawks in a series. The Hawks' defense causes problems for teams. They've got length with Johnson and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Could they beat the Knicks in a series? The Knicks are a better team. So I don't deny your theory. That being said, the one thing about Boston, they've been a great regular season team. The postseason's